Hey everyone, welcome to my Let's Play video, Ebdanians, Total War Attila. I'm playing on Legendary. So in this first video, we're just having a look at getting to the first key date of 400 AD and meeting all the objectives. Now, before I kind of discuss that, I just want to say, if you haven't tried playing Legendary yet, try it, because really, I'm not the best player at games like this. But you know, the thing is, because you can't sort of just save games and then reload them when you want. You just get the one save file. Every decision that you make is kind of important, and I'm sure loads of you guys have done the same thing that I've always done, is you do stuff and something goes wrong, so you just reload a save from a turn or two ago, and you know, what's the deal? But when you're on Legendary, it's a totally different ball game. Things matter, and it really impacts on how the game plays. It also does make the battles more interesting. Obviously it makes them more challenging. The whole thing does make it more challenging, but not unmanageably so. So this is, you can see on the screen here, it's 399 AD winter. So we're going to go into spring, when I end this turn. So let's just see what all the objectives that the game gave us, and I'm going to also add a couple of objectives to myself for where we should be at this sort of point. So obviously we need to survive until spring 400. Well, unless something drastically goes wrong, we're going to achieve that. Researched following technology, the Northern shipbuilding one, which is this fella here, and I like having the navy. I like using it, both sort of conceptually and also I think the battles are fun when you go and sort of bombard some settlement with your navy. It's great fun. So yeah, I wanted that. We have loot or sack 3 difficult settlements. Now one of those is actually another objective. Yeah, loot or sack this settlement here. Okay, now I've done that and captured it, so that includes within those 3. I did actually forget about this one, so it just shows that things can go a bit wrong, and things will go a bit wrong when you're playing on Legendary. But I did actually forget about it, and I just had time to come down and capture this one. That ship there is actually sailing back up now towards the other port that I captured. I sacked this city and then I liberated it, and he's now sailing back to port because I'm going to have a rebellion here. Maintain 10 naval units. Yeah, we've got that. Got a lot more than that. And hold a port settlement adjoining the Foreign Sea region, the Atlantic Ocean, which we have here. Okay, so following this game plan will get you all of the objectives that you need, and it's pretty fun, and it will also leave you in what I consider to be a fairly solid condition financially. I know you're thinking, what the hell? Yeah, I'm in the red. Don't worry about that. But yeah, it's going to leave you in a solid condition sort of financially, with secure borders and with some good diplomacy going on. So we'll just have a quick look at the diplomacy, and let's just see who I'm trading with. Some of these I haven't traded with yet because I should tell you what. Yeah, let's get this one trading. That's the one that I just liberated. So we'll get a trade agreement out of them, and as always, you're going to need to do this every single time. Make sure you squeeze some money out of guys, whatever it is you're doing. Generally speaking, once you get this first moderate, that's the one you want to go for. So we've got a trade agreement with them. I'm not going to do any other agreements with them because they won't pay me any more money this turn. So the next turn I'll do it where I do a non-aggression pact with them. Although saying that, I don't cancel that because I've already got a military alliance because I liberated them. But generally speaking, if I get a trade agreement or non-aggression pact with somebody in a turn, that's it, and they pay me, and that's it for that turn, and I won't ask for anything else that turn because they won't pay me anything else. And every agreement that you get, you want to try and get some money for it. So you can see I've got quite a bit of trade coming in here. Not mass loads in money just yet, because I'm only producing a couple of things at the minute. But that is going to change very quickly. By the time, I don't know, about another 10 turns or something, maybe more than that. But yeah, we will certainly change that picture a lot for the next sort of chunk once we've done this first chunk of the game. So for the less experienced players, then I'm going to have a look at how we get to this sort of stage. Now, the first thing I do when I load in a new game is I have a look at the attributes for my king and my generals and any statesmen that are available to me. And one thing in particular that I'm looking for is this: unit experience plus for missile unit recruits. And ideally I want that, and that one's got the same. There's ones that do plus experience for melee recruits and ones that do plus for cavalry recruits. Now, missile recruits, for my mind, is the best ones because it's so hard to upgrade your ships, and this is about the easiest way of getting your ships upgraded in comparison to the army. But aside from that, very early in the game, what we're going to have, you can see these levels here. These are all, pretty much all of them, are top rank with experience. And even the ones that aren't top rank have got a decent wedge of it. And what we're going to do is every so often we're going to go on a kind of recruitment drive, if you like. And there's a few things that we need to achieve that, but the building block of it, if you like, is when you first load in the game, have a look and see what your generals are. And if you think they're not giving you anything worth having, then reload the game. Cancel that campaign and reload the campaign, because you're going to be playing the campaign for a long time. So to my mind, that's imperative, really, for me. See, as I said before, I'm not the best at games, and I'm quite an old guy, and my reaction's a little bit slow. So when it comes to the actual battle parts, having the armies be that little bit stronger helps compensate for that for me. Now, if you don't have that particular problem, you might want to make sure that your armies or your generals have people with increased wealth as attributes. Play to your strengths or cover up for your weaknesses, but have a little think to yourself, what are your strengths and weaknesses, and we're going to go for that. I'm not going to go too much into the whole loyalty thing at this in this video. If you think that you'd like me to have a chat about how to control loyalty in politics, we'll go into that. At the minute, I'm kind of okay with Dominion, with control and power. Not too high, not too low. And when we look at the generals here, when I go through each general, you'll see that there's a figure down the bottom, and we'll have a look and we'll make sure that none of these are sort of 4 or below. If they were, say for example this general here, say his loyalty was like 3 or 4, basically what I would do is click on either my leader. At this stage my wife doesn't have any influence to use, I think she's already used it, but I could click on any of my family members that have this icon here showing highlighted, and then you can just press secure loyalty, and then you put the target over that character. Now each character in your family can do 1 political action per turn. So if you had 4 generals who were getting rebellious, you could do it to 4 people, but only 4 people. I don't think I can deselect that now. But never mind, it's no biggie. It's going to boost his loyalty up a bit. When you do load in, have a look and see what your wife is like. My first wife that I got in here, she wasn't very good. There was no positive attributes and there was negative attributes. So what I did was very quickly divorced. I'm not going to press it now because I've got a nice wife. But on one of my first turns, I divorced her and we got rid of her. So how did we manage this then, and what do we have? We have this was our starting province, and didn't do much. You start off with a farm here, but you also start with a fishing jetty. So basically what I did was I demolished the farm, made space for something that would give me something towards public order. And basically, I've never had a riot in here. I've never had a rebellion. Though it's got sort of close to it, so I've had to sort of, you know, manage it a few times, but generally speaking, I haven't had a riot. You'll start the game with a character here and one sort of in the middle of the Irish Sea. And what you want to do is move those over onto the land straight away in your first turn. And also in your first turn, you want to recruit a navy in your starting province. And just with about 3 bow ships, something like that, you know, nothing small. The important thing is what we're looking to do here is get the navy involved in a few battles to help get their experience up and, you know, get them leveled up sooner rather than later. Ideally, if you can, I would advise that for the admiral you choose somebody with the marksman trait. Let me just zoom down to where my admiral is. And yeah, the marksman trait gives them unit experience +2 for missile unit recruits. So again, you can see when I've recruited the missile ships, I only recruited a few after him leveling up, but he did get to that stage. I'm just looking at these. I'm going to merge these together while I think on. There we go. It's always worth merging them together for 2 reasons. One is you're sort of paying for units that aren't going to be effective in a battle, and the other is that when it comes to a battle, the unit that is half strength is probably going to break much quicker. You know, they break away with their morale and run away, start routing much sooner. So you want to get rid of those. Now, one thing that's worth mentioning here that you need to keep an eye on is this integrity. Now his is quite low, but you can also see that the change per turn is rising, so I'm not concerned. And what will happen is, if you look at the factors that make it rise, I don't know, can I collapse this? No, I can't. If we look at the factors that make it rise, we've got the technologies, but the important one there is Battle 1 and Spoils of War. Okay, so in the next couple of turns we're going to go raiding, oh that's Desolate, but we can come down and raid this one, and then we're going to be going along to the Mediterranean, and there is loads of spoils there. There is absolutely loads of places for us to raid, to sack, to loot, and that his integrity will go shooting right up. Now what happens if you have somebody with low integrity and they've got low loyalty and they're in a province where it's ready to rebel? What we have there, my friends, is a recipe for a civil war, and I've had that myself. If you forget to keep an eye on any one of those factors, if those 3 factors combine, you get your rebellion, but your general isn't loyal to you, his integrity is low, and they basically go and lead the rebels. And rather than just have the 4 units that you generally get when a rebellion breaks out to deal with, you're going to have an army of 8 or 10. And unless you have an army there decent enough to cope with that, which you probably won't, because if you did have, rebellion wouldn't have broken out. It's going to cause you some problems, and it has certainly caused me problems in previous games. Oh, excuse me a minute. Just light the old coffin nail. Yeah, now we can also see this army here. This is my king, and I always try and involve my king in as many fights as I can, you know, to start getting the traditions built up and start getting some leveling up on his own attributes. Now it's worth noting as well, once you do start leveling up, you get different people you can put in your household, or different bits of equipment, and sometimes you get ones that also increase the experience of units. Oh, he's got a new one there, I didn't notice that. That one gives him armor 5% for the unit. I just noticed he's got this trait, likes Romans. Been kicking the bejesus out of the Romans since we started. So your first moves, like I say, we're going to have 2 armies over here, and we are going to move these across here. We're not going to attack this first settlement. in the first go. There is a reason for that. Is you want to get this settlement and these settlements down here as quick as you can, because if you don't, the Caledonians will come marching down and they'll capture that, or even worse, they might raise it. And ditto with these areas, the Saxons or the Franks will come across and they'll do the same down here. Now what I wanted was a situation where I held these three provinces, sorry, these three settlements, so the entire province of these three settlements. I wanted to have liberated the British, and I also wanted London. The reason for London is because it has the iron. And we need that. At this stage, we're just going to say we need it for the resources. There are other benefits to having it, but we want iron to trade with. Okay, when we look at my trade, we'll see I'm only trading two things. One is iron, and the other being lead. Now when I increase the output of those, that will dramatically increase the amount of trade that I'm getting. And down in Spain, as the game progresses, we're going to get a lot more things that we can trade and a lot better things. But initially we want some things that we can trade. So that's why I wanted these settlements. This last settlement here, I probably would have liked it, but it got raised, not by me. I think it was the Caledonians who raised it. Or it might have been the Picts, but anyway. What was happening was there was a Pict army, two Pict armies coming down here. And it would have been ideal if they captured it, because then I would be able to trade with them. So I didn't do anything, hoping that they would capture it, and they didn't. They raised it. It would have been ideal if they captured it. Like I say, that would give me another trading partner, give me more income. And in the early stages of the game, you want to get as much trade going as you can. It really does help you out. I slurped me old coffee. So the plan is come across here and take these settlements over here. Now I did this all on auto resolve. The reason being is that I just like to kind of get this first area secure, and in my own mind know that the campaign is beginning okay. Now it's quite easy to do that. What you want to do is have just a couple of mercenary units. That's all you need. Your starting units are okay to be able to do that. And I recruited a mercenary onager in one unit and a band of axemen in the other unit. Now when it gets to the point, on your first turn you won't be able to reach here, you'll just be able to sort of land your two armies about here. But you have one army that starts here. When you do get it onto the shore, put it into fast march. It'll only come about this far further, but that is enough to be able to let you take that on the next turn. So get these, put them into forced march and get them across here as quick as you can. Like I say, you really don't want to have these places taken by somebody else. Now, when you do position your armies, I'll just move this one out and show you where I sort of had it.
Ready for orders.
Oh, he can't move. He hasn't got enough movement points. I must have already moved him.
Faster! Damn you all!
Right, but basically you're moving both armies across so that one of them ends up here and then the other one goes to attack. And you want to see that yellow line there. Right, you want that yellow line showing, and that means that both armies will join in the attack. Not only does it mean that the attack is definitely going to go in your favour, but it also means that both armies are getting the experience from being in that battle. And then the one that was there, you go in, capture the settlement. The one that was here, you come down, capture this one. And there you go, two settlements captured in one turn. And I remember I said to build a small navy at the start. You want to bring that across here and blockade the settlement. Now, if there is a Roman army there, I wouldn't advise it because they just chase you off. But if there isn't, bring that across and blockade the settlement. And it helps get you some XP for your navy. And then what happens is you can bring it means that if the Picts or the Caledonians do come down and they attack that settlement, that you'll still win because you've initiated the attack. So basically then it's a case of buckling under. Now I don't sack the settlements at this stage. I just occupy them. But once you take them, just occupy them. You'll find that if you sack them and you're trying to build these up again, it costs you far more to build them up again than you would have earned by sacking them. The only one that I sacked was this one. That was the one that I kept. But also when I captured down here for the British, I did sack that, and then I attacked it again and liberated it and gave it to the British. Okay. Once you do capture, it's kind of up to yourself, I guess, what you think is the best choices to go for. And also that will depend on how much money you have, but I would recommend that you repair stuff. You keep an eye on your money, what's coming in. You don't go too daft with getting stuff built up. When you can afford it, though, I would get the pastures, because that will enable you to recruit some cavalry. Do build a well and build a wood carver, and that will enable you to recruit archers and onager. I'd also recommend that we the military tree. Now, I have seen people discuss this, and a lot of them will say that it's more important to go for the civic trees. Now, I won't proclaim myself to be expert enough to say, yeah, okay, they're right. But I would say that a counter argument, and it's open for debate, is that if you make your army strong enough, they can steamroll through things and you'll get loads of money from doing that. And we're going to be going to a part of the world that isn't seeing as much fighting as our immediate proximity. And what you'll see around here is that everyone is squabbling over the same bit of turf, Oh, we don't want to do that. You will get areas raised like here and there. We want to actually go for stuff where we can get some money from it. So yeah, that's kind of my counter argument to that, is that we're going to end up sacking so much stuff that their armies will pay for ourselves, and we don't need to worry too much about the civic tree and the early stages of the game. Now, once the game starts developing and we're getting loads of money coming in, yeah, by all means, research the civic tree and get those built up. You can't just purely go along the military tree. You will end up skint if you do that by late game. But from early to mid game, I would mainly go along the military route. Right, I'm just trying to think if there's anything that I've kind of left out. Basically, when it comes to forging alliances, I made alliances with the Scots. Once I had captured this settlement here, I took my navy up as far as the Geats up here, and that's how I was able to sort of start getting so many trading partners. And if you look at all these alliances, and some of those represent like 4 steps, because I've gone through military access, non-aggression pact, defensive alliance, military alliance. Each step I've got some money from them for doing it. So that's provided quite a bit of income, as well as the actual trade that comes in. Every time you declare war on somebody, make sure you look and see if they're at war with somebody else, and you might get that faction to pay you for you to go to war with them. So sometimes you might load up and the Caledonians are already at war with Rome. So before you attack Rome, you can click on Caledonians and see if they'll pay you to join that war. So make sure you're doing stuff like that. As you can see, even though I've been careful with money management, I am in the red here. My money is going to go down. Not in the red as in my current treasury, but it is going to go down each turn. So even though I've been careful, you really have to sort of squeeze every penny that you can out of people. But what also will happen, of course, now when I end this turn, let's do this. I don't think there's anything I've left out. If I haven't covered anything you want to see covered, do put in comments. Oh yes, actually there is something I missed out. I didn't bring the army straight up to the Geats, the navy. I brought the navy down here with one of my 2 armies, and took this settlement down here, and then I sacked that settlement, and then liberated it for the Gauls, and that gave me another trading partner. Now, some people might say that you're better off actually holding on to the settlement because there is salt there, and it gives you something to trade. But I also think it gives you something else to manage, and you are still going to end up with the odd rebellion going on up here. And if you haven't rebellions down here as well, it can just become a bit of a headache. So I'd say just kind of, this is enough here. What we actually have here is three provinces. And like I say, if we want to go on a recruitment drive, I can select this edict in each province. Unit experience +1 for all recruits, all provinces. And I've got like 3 provinces, so I can select that for all of them. I'll very soon have like 4 or 5 because I'm going to go on a rampage when my next sort of goes in Spain. And that combined, like I say, with my governor, who gives +3 for all recruits, and combined with my other stuff, see, we can really recruit some strong armies. I'll put a link in the description about how to get that governor to give you that +3. I think it's well worth doing. Yeah, I think that's pretty much covered everything. So I try to avoid conflict with anyone but Rome. So let's just see what happens on the end of this turn here. I did actually record a version of this where I was talking over the whole lot step by step, but because it takes so long for these stages, the video ended up to be about 1 hour and 15 minutes, and I thought that's just too long. This video is still going to probably be about half an hour or something, but yeah, that was just like way too long for people to watch. So if anyone does really want to see that though, just tell me and I'll put it up anyway. It's a new channel. As it's a new channel, guys, if you like what you see here, do give it a like, give it a thumbs up, think about subscribing and all that kind of stuff. If there's anything you think that I'm doing though that's kind of putting you off watching again, whether it's either my knowledge base or how I'm expressing and explaining, leave comments. If you're a new player and you've got questions, put them down. If you're an expert player, hang on a second, I was going to go on a rampage with these. Doesn't look like I am. Oh shit. Oh, this is not good. Thank God I can retreat from that. I'm not going to fight. I am not going to fight this. Yeah, if you're an expert player,
Finding shelter.
do put down in comments. Well, that was one of the armies that I was going to hope to go and ransack. Go on a rampage. So that's going to put a slight delay on that one. It's going to put a slight delay on me getting income with that army. Don't worry, we can deal with the situation, but it's the best laid plans of mice and men afgang agley. By the way, I was really pleased to see the Ebdanians or the Irish as a playable faction, because I am Irish, although my accent is mainly English. I've lived most of my life in the UK. I am Irish, still very much consider myself Irish, even though I don't particularly sound it. Although for some reason I do sound when I'm drunk. If I ever do a video when I'm drunk, it'll come across loud and clear. This little area up here with the wine, that is an excellent trading resource, and I'm really hoping that doesn't get sort of raised. But I've got 2 trading resources close here. It'd be nice if I can get those and hold on to those. Yeah, so here we get the birth of Attila. I'll tell you what, I know most of you guys will have probably seen this, but I'm just going to let it play through.
They made ready for war. The world had fallen into shadow. The earth grew cold, and the wind whispered of death. And I beheld a black horse, and he that sat on him had a pair of scales in his hand. Attila was born. All knelt before him, for they knew he would devour the earth and set on fire the foundations of the mountains. Attila was born from darkness and despair.
See all that bowing down thing that they were doing? They're going to do that to me. Right, so we've got a rebellion. We can expect that because that's the settlement that I just took over. Attila's been born. Made ready for war, so we've got 5 objectives complete. So that gave me 4,000 for meeting the first one, and then another 5,000 for meeting all the others. So we are actually secure financially. Got another rebellion imminent. I'm going to leave looking at these for me next go. Alright, my loyalty didn't work, and I can't afford to put any more onto it. And I didn't even need it in the first place. That was just me showing you how it works. I wouldn't have done that normally, but so I've got no choice but to forget it. So yeah, I've got a rebellion here. And I am just going to move this in here, I think. And let's have a look where we stand now. So like we've got a decent income. Sorry, not decent income. We've got a decent amount of money there. Where's the rebellion going to be imminent? Down here. So let's control that. Actually, let's.
Ready for battle.
Still going to go into rebellion, but what will probably happen, because I'm allies with the British, if when rebels spawn from there, the British will come along and sort that out for me. So there's another benefit from doing it. But we need to keep an eye on this settlement and try and stop rebellions from keeping on happening. So I'm going to upgrade that to a small city, and it will also help defend it if the Romans do decide to come back again. We're okay here. We're okay here. But where we need to sort of invest some... Oh, we need to deal with this situation. Oh, that's interesting now. We've got a faction that I haven't come across it yet in this game, the Swabians, in this campaign. So let's see if the Swabians will be friends. Neutral is deteriorating. They don't like army trees and stuff. But if I've got 2 options here. I could attack this Romans and hope that they'll help. Or
Ready for battle.
I could ignore them and come around. Could even think about capturing that gold mine, but I don't really want to build a settlement down here. I just want to kind of rampage and get on with it. Let's see how far I can go.
Get moving.
And I'm going to put them into ambush. Right, so if this other army does come up, which it probably will do to join in this punch up here, I'll be able to ambush them. If that does happen, I'll keep on recording and I'll play it through, even though it's actually 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm knackered. But I'm having sleep problems basically, and I went to bed early and I was asleep at 10 o'clock and I woke up an hour later. Couldn't believe it. So let's have a look at this settlement here and see what we can do with it, and see if it's worth maintaining. Now, because this has got a gold mine to it, that's going to be worth maintaining. So I think what we'll do is we'll build a well here. It's going to be another 2 turns before my fortress is ready. So I'm going to get some mercenaries, and because that rebel army will double by the time they come to face me. They probably won't come and attack me because I've got the boats here, but you know, I can afford... Oh, I can't afford it. Ah, damn. Told you I was tired. I really wasn't paying attention there. You know, that's That was just absolutely stupid of me. I've wasted money there, guys. Right, here's the tip. Don't play when you're tired. Or at least don't do guides when you're tired. I have just wasted money on doing that. So I'll build that well later. I need to keep some money in. If I put my tax right up now, I'm just going to see how that leaves my other settlements. It gives me a definite rebellion there, but like I say, I think they'll help. Gives me a definite rebellion there, and don't have great an army. But in that case, the Caledonians will probably help. I'm going to bring them down here. It's unlikely they'll attack the walled settlement, the rebels, but they'll probably attack the smaller settlement, which is, you know, just as important to defend. I'm not going to have a rebellion there. Going to get close to it. Right, tell you what, let's see if I can get some deals going. What have I got with these? I've got a defensive alliance. Let's see how much I can get. Through a couple of bits of negotiations. I've got nothing to actually negotiate with these, but if people are friendly enough, they will give you some money. They're deteriorating. I think I might have asked for some not too long ago. I've already got a military alliance with those, but let's see. Yeah, I must have done this a couple of turns ago where I've asked them. What you can do is the factions that you're friendly with, every so often just ask them for some money and they'll give it. Let's see if I can get some money out of these. They don't want to give me money for it. Oh well. I'm going to accept that anyway, just so I can get on their good side and maybe increase it like next time. $1,500 for it. Okay, yeah, that's not bad. I don't know why people are suddenly deteriorating me. Apparently I'm a great power. I'm not really. I'm just little old me. Yeah, I must have already put me begging bowl out. Geats should be up for something. Everything's moderate though, so right, Hispania, come on, I've just released you. Just set you free. Damn it. Langobards. See if we can get some. Oh, I forgot to ask for some money there. I nearly clicked on it. Probably won't give me that. Oh, did. Nice. Nice. These probably will, because I think they were asking for it before. Oh no. No, they won't. Well, let's see if they'll just give me some money anyway. Nice. Thanks guys, I'll remember it. Yeah, I must have put my begging bowl out before, and at the minute nobody's that interested in just giving me money for nothing. They're all kind of wanting something for it. Sorry. I'll ask for some money, but I doubt if they'll do it. Oh! See how wrong I was. I wish there was a threaten option. You know, you could say, right, give me some money or else I'm going to declare war on you. Alright, so we've got a bit more money there. Yeah, that pushes us up to 7,000, so I can bring that tax back down. And then in the next go, I was going to split this into 2 videos. I really should. In fact, I am. No, I won't, because people want to see not just the opening moves, but where it leaves you. And I think I've left us in a precarious position just here. So I think I need to sort of demonstrate that where we're left isn't too bad. Because otherwise we're thinking, well, it's all right, you made it as far as there, but you're in a bad position. You know, your army's going to get killed and you're going to run out of money. So I need to demonstrate that we are actually in a strong enough position to avoid that. And this was all just because of that one thing with those 2 Roman armies coming up against me. If they hadn't, I would have sacked that town and we would have been fine. So that has extended the length of this video. I bet this video ends up being an hour long as well. If you have watched it as far as this, or if you've watched it right to the end, do let me know in the comments, please. And like I say, if you find this useful, you know, give it a share or something. New channel starting out, all that kind of stuff really, really helps. And I do have some pretty exciting plans for the Total War videos that I'm going to be doing. So it would be nice to kind of, you know, like get the channel going a bit. Looks like World War III is happening over here. Guys, I've got a Roman army coming towards me as well. Maybe I should have kept those mercenaries. I'm just sitting here thinking that I'm wondering what I should have checked what edicts I have, because I've got a feeling that I might have left them on the recruitment one for when I was recruiting my army, and at the minute I'm not recruiting, so I should have a look at those. And with that other Roman army coming across, that's also put a little dent in my plans. I'm not going to go too much. I'm not going to go into these terms of office things at the minute. Don't want to kind of cover too much stuff in one video. Right now, because I went into ambush, the Romans think I've gone away.
Besieging settlement.
So let's get some stuff going here. This screen pauses like this. When you're on legendary, it does it far more because it's saving it each time something like this happens. Like whatever I've done now, I'm committed to this battle, or I can run away from it, you know. But that's why it sort of stutters a bit on this bit, because it's saving. So I'm just going to auto resolve. It's not exactly going to be an interesting battle. Now for this, I am going to loot and occupy.
Ready for battle.
Because it means that I can sort of travel through it, if that makes sense.
Warriors
On my next turn I'll be able to sort of travel down here, whereas otherwise I wouldn't be able to. But I'm not going to repair anything. I'm going to dismantle everything. And basically I'm just going to leave that city to rack and ruin. I'm not going to raise it, because why? There's absolutely no benefit in raising. Or if there is, I'm yet to be convinced of one. Wow, this is a big army we've got coming across here. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do something here. Still can't recruit, so there's no mercenaries available. Oh man, that's not good, guys. That's not good. I don't know what I'm going to be able to do.
For the tribe!
I can get a couple of
We need more ships!
artillery ships, but they probably won't be ready by the time a fight comes. Yeah. And what I'll do is I'll use... No, I can't do that really. Sorry, I know I'm muttering here, but I need to have this army strong enough so it can actually go and attack stuff as well, you know. This navy rather. And I need some ground troops for that as well, not just having the missile units. How are we doing here? That's still on the verge of rebelling. But it's not at a stage yet of rebelling. If I didn't have that Roman army down here, I would build something there. Oh, let's just check my provinces and see what I've got. I'm going to put these onto public order bonuses, just because I don't want the hassle of fighting rebels off up here and having the expense of having to build those armies up. Yeah, so all my provinces are okay as far as my edicts are concerned. I was okay there. So these shouldn't rebel. This one
Ready for battle!
might. Let me think.
Ready for orders!
That'll be fine, even if they do rebel. I think we'll be fine with those. Quick check to see if there's anything I can do diplomatically. I wonder why these won't trade with me. Why do they hate me so much? I'm not going to ask for any money there because I had previously tried all sorts to get them to trade with me and they wouldn't. That gives me a little bit more money coming in. Which way are we going to go, guys? I'm going to go this way so I can build up my naval military. Just going to have a quick check on my loyalty. Alright, that's okay. Everyone's loyal. I'm gonna put some guys into these slots here and hope that I don't end up regretting it. My king did build up a bit of influence there from that last battle, and this is the thing, as long as you can keep your king in battles and fighting, that should be okay. I'm going to see if I can gather some support though. Oh, this guy's wife has enough to do that, so I can do that. That'll help with the control. Yeah, like I say, it wasn't my intention to make this video as long, but I think I have to sort of end it at a satisfactory stage. But a couple of things have happened where I can't, in all honesty, say it is at a satisfactory stage. What I was hoping was that this army that you can see on the screen there now, the one that I'm pointing to with my hand as if you can see me, I was hoping that that army would be rampaging, and I was hoping that my navy would be rampaging. But because of those two sort of different armies came at me against my one army, I couldn't do that. And because I've got a strong army and rebels coming up against me in the other place. I couldn't leave it, so yeah, just had to deal with the situation as it arises. Let's see what the Roman Empire is going to do. I've got a horrible feeling they're all going to go and gangbang that place where my navy's at. If they do, I might just try and pull my navy out and just accept that it's a loss, you know. In fact, that's probably going to be my plan. Oh no, the rebels moved off somewhere else. Was that? I'm not too sure if that was Spain there. That happened too quick. That might have been Hispania who actually fought the rebels for me. Or they've moved off. Either of which is good news. For the time being. Russians want a defensive alliance. If you pay me for it. There you are, my friend, you're welcome. Nice. More of that, please. That's the kind of things that I want to see. Yeah, I know I've got a rebellion imminent, but I'm not concerned about that. So yeah, this is why I was hoping I didn't have to do too much with my king. Now, if I decree this, that will boost his loyalty, but it will cost me to do it influence. But I'm going to do it because I think it's worth it. Wow. Yeah. Okay, let's do that. That's okay, that's okay. Right. Right, you see what I mean? Now I can just march down this road. If I hadn't have taken this settlement, I would have had to come around this way. Now, what I need to have a think about is this a good one to actually capture and hold? Because it does have a gold mine, which can be a little gold mine. It's already damaged, so there's obviously been some fighting going on, and I'm probably not going to get much money from... Oh, hang on. Clicking on the wrong thing there. I was nearly declaring war on somebody.
Let them cower before us.
Yeah, so I'm probably not going to get much money from sacking this. Let's just see what comes up. Yeah, you can see what I mean. It's already badly damaged, so I am just going to occupy it, because otherwise it just massively increases the cost of repairing it if I did sack it. And I'll have a look at this here. It's still costing quite a bit. It's because the previous owners, how much is this going to cost? That's not too bad. This we're just going to tear down.
For the tribe.
I'm going to do this one because he already does have a boost for missile unit recruits, and when I go on a recruitment drive later, that will bring it up. And I'm going to increase his ambush chance because, like I say, if what happened before, you know, if you come across an enemy army and there's going to be too big a fight, if you just go in to hide, the chances are that they'll stay away from you. Right, so the Roman army left, but the rebels are still here. My fort is built now. Right, at least I can actually recruit rather than hire more mercenaries. Now the thing is, if I go now, like if I move this ship away and start pillaging down here, even further down here, oh god, it is too far. Right, and then the rebels will attack my settlement, and I'm not in a position to defend that properly yet. This is the point where I wish somebody was actually watching and they could say, yes, you know, you're in a good enough position to leave this now. I think I might have to do that anyway, because like I say, otherwise this video is going to end up even longer than me hour-long one. So what's happening here is another army is attacking these rebels, and my little army is also going to get in on the act. So this isn't actually my army that's attacking. This is the Caledonians that are fighting rebels on my behalf. But I may as well get a few pennies from the from that little rebellion there, from the captives. I haven't even looked at the objectives either for the next stage. Really should have done that by now. Start planning out what I'm going to do. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with these rebels up over in España though. I might even have been better just abandoning that settlement and not... Because instead of making money for me, it's just turned into a money drain, you know, which kind of goes against the whole point of it. But let's see what my next objectives are. And also I'd like to know what your guys' opinions are on the objectives. You know, do you feel like you have to get all the objectives, or does it not bother you? Oh, Rome, do me a favour. Just because I'm attacking you all the time doesn't mean you have to attack me back. You know what I'm saying? You want me to pay for it? I don't think so, chum. Wait a couple of turns and they'll quite happily pay me another 1,000 for it. Right, there was a couple of things happening there. Right, so right, we're going to play this battle out. That's not one we can auto-resolve. And that's definitely going to be the end of the video. In fact, I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to make this the end of the video now, but I will record this battle and put it up as a separate video. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed it. I'm sorry it's gone on quite as long as it has. I didn't think it would have done. Thanks very much for watching. Don't forget though to rate, share and subscribe if you have enjoyed this video and you'd like to see more. Alright, cheers guys, take it easy. Ciao.